Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Entertainment Buzz. This is a special edition episode. You guys usually know that we do Entertainment Buzz on Fridays, but Florida Film Festival has kicked off as of last Friday, and we wanted to bring you guys a special edition because we have a very special movie that is set to release this coming Saturday called I'm Fine, Thanks for Asking. So right about now, we're going to run the trailer just to give you guys a little bit of a backstory, a little bit of a synopsis of what the film is about. This story is about a newly widowed mom who's the mother of an 8-year-old, Danny. Danny's the main character, and she basically gives her daughter the pretext of camping. They are unfortunately displaced. They do end up homeless, but she tells her daughter that they're camping for a little bit. So take a look at this trailer, and then we're going to get started with this interview with two of the executive producers, Kelley and Capelle Fahoome. So stay tuned for this interview. It's going to be fun.
Hey, beautiful, how you doing? You all right? You a preacher? This your church? I ain't never seen a reverend in skates.
Incoming call from Sugar Lips. Incoming call from
my
Sugar
car's
Lips.
going off because
Incoming call from Sugar Lips. Call declined.
It's messed up. I apologize. It kept beeping.
Danny, girl, your crazy ass still skating.
What is up?
Oh, man, you know I can't call it. How you doing?
I'm good, you know. It's just me and Wes now.
It's too hot for hugging Mama.
That's a fair point. I got shorted today, and then that's why you see me going around doing post pals and everything, because I just need to get this apartment.
Where are my wontons? I didn't see any wontons on your order.
Maybe you dropped them while you were skating. I'm gonna be back at 5 o'clock, okay?
And then can we sleep inside?
Yes, of course we can sleep inside. Just kidding, because we always sleep inside.
Mommy, can we go home now?
But you love camping. You used to camp with Daddy all the time.
I know, but we didn't camp this long.
Danny, you live on the side of the road in a tent?
She's just a little girl. I don't want her to know this stuff.
I can get you the rest soon. I really need this place.
I'm sorry, Danny. It's not enough.
You ain't got to be out here in those skates. You can come with me. There's a little something for you. Make your next move your best move, baby.
Yes, Daddy.
Have I ever told you about angel wishes? You take Daddy's ring and you say, I wish that Wes would give me a big smile. It works.
Danny, wait, are you okay? You guys good?
I'll be right there for you. Right there for you.
Interesting story, right? So without further ado, I'm bringing in our amazing guests, Capelle Fahoome and Kelley. Ladies, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. So first, let me start with you, Kelley, because in a previous interview, you mentioned that you started this just being in the quarantine and you wanted to do something, you wanted to make something. But what made you decide to focus specifically on this narrative?
So when I woke up with that pressing feeling to make something, I called my team, my girls, Angelique Molina, who's my co-director, Roma Kong, who's one of our co-producers, Dion Cole, who is my writing partner, and Capella. And so when we started discussing topics, Angelique and our body of work tends to focus on social issues in our surrounding community. So it was only natural that we would choose a subject matter that was affecting us today. And one of the things that I have noticed was that there were a lot more women on the streets since the pandemic. Here in Los Angeles, we've always had a very large homeless population, and that has increased significantly since the pandemic. And one thing that we learned about was like houselessness, like people who are just like one paycheck away from being back on their feet, and just like maybe they ended up on a family member's couch, or maybe in their car, or maybe in a tent somewhere temporarily, but they're not far off from getting stable again. And that was a lot of people in the US and around the world. And we really hadn't seen that explored, and a lot of us were feeling that. A lot of people were feeling that paycheck to paycheck during this pandemic, if you were so blessed to even keep a job. So that was something that we wanted to explore in this story, and explore what it is to be a woman, to be a mother, having to manage these things. And so the story just took wing with all of our minds together.
And were you able to speak with some of those who were displaced in terms of your research to make the movie? Were you able to talk with some of the folks who were homeless?
So it happened to work out that Wesley, the little girl who plays my daughter, she's a good family friend of ours, and her mom, her whole occupation, her whole specialty is helping homeless women. That's what she focuses in. That's what she does. So we had an advisor on set with us in pre-production, everything, just to make sure that we executed this respectfully and accurately. And so we were really blessed to have Stephanie Moss on our team to make sure that we depicted this story as accurately as possible.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And that was a huge concern too. Anytime you're doing kind of that sort of narrative feature film, which by the way, this is Kelley's first narrative feature. Yeah. But yeah, it's always good to get it as close to accurate as possible. That's great.
Yeah.
So obviously starting this in the quarantine, things are very different in terms of the amount of people you can have on set, the logistical details. Just kind of talk about, initially in a previous interview, you mentioned you started with the stimulus check. You eventually got a little bit more financial help from Capella and Dion when they joined, but kind of talk about that logistical process, especially during the whole COVID process.
So we knew shooting at the height of the pandemic during that summer that we had to be very, very careful. So we knew that we had to keep the crew small, which resulted in a lot of our choices. So we kept the crew to 10 or less, but keeping it to 10 or less meant that we couldn't cast, because that was going to put more people over. So then we decided that, I decided. I made everybody act in it. So they weren't that happy, but they did a great job. And then we brought in a few actors for those roles that we, like, after we exhausted our 10 people crew and we still had more characters, we brought in a few very close friends of ours to also play those roles. But we had to keep it tight in the family because we were taking a risk, and we didn't want to expose anybody who wasn't in our circle or anything like that. But thank God everyone was safe. We kept a very safe set. We got tested frequently. We didn't even have a crafty table. We issued our own tote bags. Everyone had their individual tote bag with their hand sanitizer, with alcohol spray, with all of their food. And then when they ran out, they came back to us and we filled it. So it wasn't everyone touching all over it. We were extremely cautious when it came to COVID to keep everybody safe and healthy.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And on that note, guys, this is a very quick show, but we are going to take a brief commercial break. We're going to come back and bring Capella in just to kind of talk about her portion of the production process, just kind of that sort of behind the scenes. But guys, the conversation continues. Stay tuned. This is a commercial break where you wet your tongue, literally very quick. So stay tuned, guys.
At Taco John's, you can expect one thing: so good. As in quality ingredients used in tacos and burritos made just for you. Every single bite.
So good.
Expect nothing less at Taco John's.
Welcome back, guys, to Entertainment Buzz. Told you that was a tongue wetter. But Capella, would love to bring you in and get your thoughts on, your side of the process, how you experienced it, especially with that limited 10-person crew. Kind of talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Well, so I'm a producer. Of course, any producer will tell you they look for great stories. I tend to look for great people. And I was working on a fantastic documentary. So we had experience together. And I just happened to call Kelley one day, and she was filming. And I'm like, hold up, what are you filming? And she said, oh, we're doing a film. I said, a short? And she said, no, a feature. I was like, no, I'm on in. What do you need? What can I do? Because I literally, Melissa, I didn't know the name of the film when I told her I wanted in. Like, I jumped in, not even both feet in my car and everything. And I wanted in because I knew Kelley and I knew Angelique, and I knew whatever they were doing was going to be fantastic. So, yeah, like I said, I started before I knew the title, and I never looked back, and I, of course, was never disappointed. So, yeah, I invest in the people. But what they did was phenomenal. I say they. Roma, Angelique, Kelley, you just can't go wrong with writers like that and stories that they tell. And the way that, like Kelley talked about, treating the set. And I think the sort of brilliance of the script, as Kelley said, the actors or the crew, they wrote, to the crew's strengths, right? So it wasn't like they were trying to sort of retrofit the crew into these outlandish characters. They really wrote to who their crew was. I just think the whole thing was brilliant from beginning to end.
Awesome. And, congratulations on a great project. It actually won the special jury prize at South by Southwest this year, which is huge and monumental. So, like, give us your thoughts on that, like being able to produce the project in the tight time constraints under those more rigid guidelines, but to be able to get that kind of payoff and recognition.
It was shocking to me. They created that award for us, and it just meant a lot because this was a scrappy little project, and we were in competition with some phenomenal films, like polished, beautiful, gorgeous, and really scrappy little kids that came with this project from the heart, and then for them to recognize how many hats we wore and how hard we were working was just, I think Capella saw my face when Janet called and told us, and I couldn't say anything. Like, I was just stunned. And Janet was like, she's the head of the festival. She's like, you are excited, right? And I'm like, yeah, of course. This is like, what?
Literally our crew or our credit scroll was short. Kelley noticed it. She said, Capella, do you realize our credit scroll is shorter than the short films? Like,
wow.
And it's the same names that reappear.
I was laughing at that. I was watching some of the shorts, and I was like, my God, their credits go on forever. Our feature is like, bloop, done. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. And congratulations on that. So I'll wrap it up with this, ladies. You're here at the Florida Film Festival, and this is their 30th. This is the 30th annual Florida Film Festival. So what does it mean to you to be here for that 30th milestone? And also, is this your first Florida Film Festival?
For me, it is. I've been down to Florida. For ABFF, I've had a few of my films over there, but this is my very first Florida Film Festival, and this festival has always been one of the top festivals that I've always wanted to be in. So when they called too. I thought that was so classy. They called and told us that we got in, and I just. It was mind blowing, and it was shortly after we heard we got into South by, and so to be followed with Florida Film Festival just was like, this is a dream come true. So I can't wait. And Florida is going to screen our movie in a theater, which is a big deal this year.
Yes.
And, so we finally get to see it on the big screen, which is a treat for us because we've been making this movie through computers and through virtual editing. Like we turned our cameras around and edited virtually through Zoom with our editors, and our sound mixer was in Kentucky, and like this whole thing was made virtually. So to be able to actually see it in a theater, I'm grateful that we're able to do that at Florida Film Festival.
Yeah, I've been here once before, and it does not disappoint. I'm very excited.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on being able to screen here at the Florida Film Festival. We look forward to you ladies coming to Florida. And ladies and gentlemen out there, if you want to check it out, go to floridafilmfestival.com to get your tickets. I'm Fine. Thanks for asking. Premieres on Saturday, April 17, 2021. Ladies, we look forward to seeing you that day. Congrats again.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having us. This was great.
Thank you.
You're a great
Absolutely.
host.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Ladies, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you. All right, guys, of course, a special edition of Entertainment Buzz. We'll continue to bring you guys more special interviews with filmmakers, folks in the industry, across the industry. But be sure to tune in if you haven't yet. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, all that fun stuff. You can find us at Florida National News on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Be sure to click that little bell and the subscribe button on YouTube so you can get all the notifications for all of our shows. And to find out more about I'm Fine, Thanks for Asking, be sure to check them out on Instagram at Thanks for Asking Movie. In the meantime, this is Melissa Thomas. Thank you guys, as always, for tuning in. And as you guys hear me on our other shows are here at Florida National News, continue to stay safe. This pandemic is still out here. But as things open back up and we begin to enjoy more entertainment, be sure to be careful, mask up, practice your safe social distancing. All right? Take care and be safe. Have a great afternoon.